The crowd is noisy. Background voices merge into one deafening cacophony. My heart is a deafening drum. Hands shaking. Sight is like a tunnel. Guardsman, standing, unmoving, looking through him, like everyone else. They can't see. The thought cuts like a blade. They don't hear. The hero's eyes run. The faces around him are a blur. Laughter, the clicking of cameras. His breathing, heavy, intermittent. His fingers clench into a fist. That's enough. A step forward, one. One more. Nearby, the metal of the fence, cool to the touch. Look at me, he whispers. But the guardsman is like a statue. His body is on edge. Everything inside is screaming, do it. The hand reaches out. The seconds stretch out. And suddenly, a child's laughter. A turn of the head. The girl with the flag waving at him. The hero's eyes freeze at that moment. Hands drop. The guardsman is still standing. The crowd doesn't notice. But inside, something's broken. Or, fixed. Deep breath. U-turn. Walks away. Sometimes, a struggle isn't a punch. It's a stop. A crowd. Voices mingle into a rumble like the surf. Blurred faces, camera flashes, laughter. Too much of everything. Too loud. My heart beats somewhere in my throat. Heavy, painful. Breathe. Just breathe. But the air is sticky, thick. Every breath is a struggle. Eyes darting. To the left, tourists with flags. On the right, a child eating ice cream. Up ahead, him, the guardsman, standing still, like a monument. Or, as all these people see him, a decoration. Do they see me? A thought strikes. A second, and the brain answers, no. No one sees. No one hears. They're making videos, laughing, passing by. Just like that. Just like always. The hero swallows. His fingers clench. The skin on his knuckles turns white. You came here for a reason. The inner voice echoes in a broken echo. You have to do this. Heart, boom, 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 boom. Even the asphalt underfoot seems to vibrate to the beat. The guardsman is still standing. Straight, focused, flawless. And it's, infuriating. Look at me. At me. Almost in a whisper. No reaction. The crowd as a backdrop. Laughter. Photographs. The click of a camera. A step forward. One more. Shoulders tense, as if the world is squeezing in on all sides. A hand slowly reaches forward. Stop him. Make him notice. My heart is screaming. Do it. Hey. Someone's voice from the side, too far away. It doesn't matter. Everything doesn't matter. There's only this moment. This man in uniform. And suddenly, laughter. Hi. Resounding. Childish. Eyes twitching to the side. A girl. 6 years old. Standing next to her mother, holding a small British flag, and she's waving it. The smile is so genuine, so pure. A lump in her throat. A moment, and all the anger, all the pressure inside, falters. Her fingers relax. The hand drops. The guardsman doesn't move. The crowd, and continues laughing, taking pictures. But in that moment, the world seems to stop. What am I doing? Pierces the thought. Ice on my back. Easy. It was too easy to cross the line. But he stopped. Why? For the girl? For himself? It's unclear. Maybe. Just tired. Deep breath. Shoulders slump. Heart still pounding in my ears, but not so furiously anymore. Turn around. There's a strange lightness to the steps. Behind me is the palace. The guards. The uniforms. Static. In front, the crowd, the life, the movement. And inside, empty. Or, calm? Sometimes. The fight isn't about hitting. It's about not hitting. The footsteps on the sidewalk are deafening. Each footstep echoes in my head. Knock, knock, knock. Hands in my pockets, shoulders still tense. The crowd behind me is noisy, like a radio in the distant background. You can't make out the words, just a general hum. Faces, too many faces. All the same, all the wrong ones. He turns a corner. A wall of light-colored stone, behind it a palace hidden by a palisade of fences. It's funny. Such beauty, such a polished picture, but inside, only order, coldness, and indifference. My breathing is still ragged. My heart is trying to calm down, but it's still crickling inside. The pulse in my temples, boom, 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 boom. Not far away, a boy spills juice on the sidewalk. The stain spreads, And for some reason, a stupid thought pops into my head. That's how people are stains. They appear, they disappear. He stops. His back is pressed against the wall. His head is thrown back. The stone is cold, rough. His eyes close. In the darkness of his eyelids are scraps of thoughts, flashes of memories. You saw everything, but you pretended nothing was happening. I'm sorry, sir. We can't interfere without orders. It's not our jurisdiction. My teeth clench. His throat is sore. How many times had he heard those phrases? How many times had their excuses been more important than lives? And now this was it. Standing there, in front of that guard. 3 steps away, and everything could have been different. But that girl, her eyes, the smile. Why? Mentally scrabbling inside. Why did it stop me? His hand fumbles in his pocket, fumbles for a crumpled piece of paper, unfolds it. A simple piece of paper, an address. Yesterday's note. If you want the truth, be at the palace at 2 p.m. No signature, no explanation. He came, looking for, what? Answers? Or, a reason? Footsteps. Sharp. Strangers. Close. Eyes open. There's a man in front, but pulled over his forehead. His face is obscured by shadows. You did it. His voice is hoarse, like sandpaper. What was that? A test? There was irritation in his voice, but wariness inside. You could say that. The stranger looks away. I held on. Didn't snap. So you're needed. Pause. My brain can't digest it in time. Who are you? Short. Someone who's tired of the spectacle. The man nods toward the palace. They're all playing parts. But soon the curtain will fall. And I need someone who knows what it's like to stand on the edge. A chill down my spine. This whole thing. Not an accident? What do you want? The voice is getting harder. That you remember why you came here with anger in your blood, the smirk in the shadow of the hood. And that next time, you don't stop. A second of silence. Only my heart is still boom, 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 boom. Am not your pawn. Not yet. The man turns away. But the choice will soon be easier than you think. We are opposed by those who think they are gods. And they made a mistake. They made you angry. The footsteps recede. The man disappears into the crowd. He is alone. The address on the paper burns in his fingers. His brain screams, go away. Forget it. But the heart? Boom. You didn't come here for a walk. Eyes back on the palace. Suddenly it's clear. The turn is still ahead. The address on the paper is still in my hand. Crumpled, but now it's not just a piece of paper. A key. Or a trap? He stands looking at the palace. Majestic. Immaculate. Ornate gates, perfectly level walkways. The facade is like a postcard. Only now, after that man's words, that shine seems like a thin layer of varnish with dirt underneath. They made you angry. Piss me off? No. Betrayed. My heart beats like a metronome. Boom, 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 boom. My thoughts are jumbled. Leave. Or, follow through? Fingers crumple the paper. A jerk. 1 step, 2 steps. The streets begin to narrow, the crowd thinning. Ordinary people are left behind, there, in a world where everything is simple. Coffee, selfies, excursions. And here, the hum of the city fades. Just as footsteps. Finally, a door. It's shabby. No sign on it. Just a keyhole as old as the street itself. Should I knock? Or, just walk in? Deep breath. Hand reaches for the knob. A click. The door opens on its own. Waiting. A dark hallway. The smell of damp and old wood. The lantern light slides along the walls, catching on rusty pipes. Each step echoes like a drumbeat. Knock, knock, knock. Thought you weren't coming, a voice says from the darkness. It's the same. It's hoarse. He freezes. His fingers tense. Just words so far. Where's the proof? Patience, he chuckles softly. It's easier to believe when you see it with your own eyes. The creak of a door. The room. The monotonous light of the lamp. A desk. There's a folder on it. Open it. A hesitation. But curiosity. Stronger than fear. Fingers unfasten the clasp. Photographs. Black and white. Old. But the faces. Recognizable. Politicians. Officers. Someone in a uniform. Royal Guard. Date signatures are from today. What the hell is that? My voice is breaking. Deals. Bribery. Orders that never happened. Wars that were nobody's fault. My heart sinks. I feel dizzy. No. It can't be. You're lying. Am I? The man nods at the last page. Take a good look. A picture of yourself. There. In a security uniform. 10 years ago. Shift at the back entrance of the palace. That's, where did you? My throat's closing up. No one was supposed to see that. They've had you in the game from the beginning. And the best part is, the smirk in the shadows of the hood, the day you lost everything? The no contact order came from them. On purpose. To have an incident. To break it. The world is falling apart. My temples are pounding harder and harder. Did they do it? On purpose? Why? He exhales. Why me? Because you're the perfect soldier. Diligent. Loyal. It's profitable to break them. They write stories where you're just background. A blur on the report. But, pause. Now you have a chance to rewrite the whole thing. The silence is crushing. There's too much going on. It's too fast. What do you suggest? The voice is deaf. A parade in 3 days. A palace. In the center, those who have decided your fate. Well, bring them into the light. But we need someone on the inside. Someone who knows how the system works. You think I can help? After, do you have a choice? Eyes glinting in the dark. You can walk away. Pretend you don't know anything. Or, end the show. 1 second. 2. My head is buzzing. Inside, a struggle. Anger. Pain. And something else, a hunger for truth. Eyes lower to the photo. A face in uniform. His face. That day. They used me. Fists clench. Okay. Voice hard as a rock. I'm in. Behind me, the door closes. Ahead, the abyss. But, sometimes you have to go through darkness to find the light. 3 days. Just 3 days, and the familiar world began to come apart at the seams. The room where had been placed was bare, a mattress on the floor, peeling walls, a lamp with a buzzing filament. But it was here that thoughts were loudest. Papers on the table lay unfolded, faces, dates, signatures. All real. The lies that hid behind the parade, the uniform, the discipline, now revealed, and it was impossible to accept. Every day, that very moment stood before his eyes, him, standing at his post, when everything happened. And now, he sees the signature. Their signature. The men they were supposed to protect. Instead, they sacrificed their own. We're bringing them into the light. Hale's words echoed in his ears. But there was another thought, one that burned harder than anger. What if this is a trap? What if this was all a game of misdirection? Had been lied to before. Why should now be any different? The door clicked. Hale walked in, confident as ever. Black jacket, file in hand. You ready? Briefly. He looks at him, not answering right away. Still thinking, he finally exhales. The time for thinking is over. The parade is tomorrow morning. After that, there will be no window. Either we act, or it's all over. Pause. Breath hitched. Eyes on the photograph. There's General Holman, the man who once shook his hand for distinguished service. Now a target. The one who gave the order, and the one who must be exposed. If it goes wrong, the voice is deaf. Then we'll have to improvise. Hale grins. But we can't let them continue. This is your chance, our chance. You either stand aside or you go all the way. 1 second. Heartbeats thudding. Boom. Boom. Okay, he exhales. Do the briefing. The night before the parade. London is in the palm of your hand. The lights reflect in the wet pavement. Cars whizzing by, people rushing about their business, unaware that tomorrow everything in the square could change. He stands on the roof of one of the buildings. In his pocket is a headset. In his ear is Hale's voice. Tomorrow they'll all be there. The general's in the center, surrounded by officers on the perimeter. Our man is already in the system. The screens will show everything we need. But you have to start the process. The security protocols can only be bypassed by the man on the inside. Do you understand? Nod. Yes. Pause. I understand perfectly. Buckingham Palace in the distance. Tomorrow there, a line of guardsmen marching to music, smiling tourists, flags. The truth, ready to burst out. He lowers his gaze. Inside is a tangle of anxiety, determination, and doubt. What if this isn't the answer? What if everything just turns upside down, but doesn't change? But too many times he's been silent. Too many times Head closed his eyes. Not today. Headset's crackling. We have a signal. Tomorrow. Game changer. You in? Eyes on the palace. Heart a steady beat. Until the end, quietly. But if you set me up, We're all in the same boat now, Hale grinned. Sink or swim, we're in this together. The sky is cloudy. Tomorrow, there's going to be a storm. Not a weather storm. Another one. It's morning. The air smells of dampness and something metallic, like before a thunderstorm. The sky is gray, taut, as if the world is holding its breath. A crowd has already gathered at the palace gates. Tourists, camera flashes, laughter. People jostling for the best seats. To them, it's a celebration. For him, it's a battlefield. The hero stands in formation. The red uniform sits on him as if he never took it off. A bear hat presses on his forehead. His gaze is forward. Next to him are the guardsmen. The same ones with whom he once walked in step. None of them suspects. They don't know he's not just a fellow soldier. A man with a mission. Or a revenge? The headset under his collar crackles quietly. Signal in place. Hale's voice, cold and clear. The general has arrived. Everything's on schedule. We start in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. My heart is pounding, like footsteps on the march. Boom, boom, boom. But there's a knot inside. Doubt. Or just fear. Too late to think. The square comes to life. Fanfare, footsteps, commands practiced to automaticity. Guardsmen advance. He is among them. Every step is measured. Every breath a countdown. 2 minutes. General Holman steps into the center of the square. His uniform immaculate, his medals gleaming. His face a mask of importance. Only the hero sees something else in him. Hypocrisy. Betrayal. The one who once smiled and shook hands, and then signed an order to bury people alive. You ready? Hail in my ear. Fist clenched under the glove. Eyes on the general. Yeah, through gritted teeth. Come on. 1 minute. The crowd applauds, unaware that everything is about to change. On the big screen behind the palace, the parade logo lights up, and then suddenly it flickers. Glitch? No. It's launching. The hero takes a step to the side, shielded by the movement of the formation. A light touch to the button on his belt. The command is internal. It's just like they taught us. No emotion. No unnecessary movements. Only the task. The screen flashes. Instead of broadcasting files, documents, photos, signatures, the general's name in huge letters. And next to it, classified, Operation Shadow, approved by Holman. The crowd doesn't understand at first. Then the noise grows like the surf. Someone screaming. What is that? Is this real? The cameras turn on the general. His face turns white. Nearby, officers twitch. Someone grabs a walkie-talkie. Panics a chain. Nice work. Hail in the ear. We got a clean shot. But the hero, he's standing there, not moving. Something's, wrong. The general suddenly looks right at him. You think you've won? His lips whisper barely audible. You have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. What? Somewhere in the back of the crowd, there's movement. My heart sinks into my heels. A setup? Turn off the screen. Someone in security yells. But it's too late. The documents are already online. And then, an explosion. Not a loud one. Inside my head. Headset hisses. It wasn't our game, Hale's voice. But colder. You thought we were for the truth? No. We took out the ones who got in our way. Thanks for the favor. Blood runs cold. He's been used. Again. General rips off his tunic, armor underneath. Shouting to the guards, protect the facility. It's a coup. The crowd is frantic. Panic. Someone falls. Sirens blaring. And he stands, empty inside. You were a pawn, echoes in my head. Pawns are the first to be sacrificed. A glance at the screen. A message blinks. The game has just begun. Shit, what have I done?